Hello and welcome to the Virtual Racing League, live tonight for the VSPEED Garage 55 at the Glen. Here tonight from Watkins Glen International in upstate New York, the Finger Lakes region. Beautiful day here as drivers trying to make their way around this tricky and historic road course. And some of the top drivers in the league putting up the fast times so far. This is the second playoff race here in 2021. Drivers trying to lock their way into round number 2. Adam Cabot already locked in by nature of his victory last week. And right now drivers looking to join him, and road course race, a bit of a wrench in the plans for maybe some, and others it's an opportunity to strike and get up into contention in the next round of the playoffs. Right now, Yusuf Ghali is fastest on track here in the number 54 Toyota. And he is fastest by about 0.3 of a second over Connor Horn. And Alec Martinez rounding out the top 3 in practice at the moment. 55 laps here tonight from the Glen, 133.65 miles. Stage break will be at lap number 20, and this is race 20 of 25. Not too many more remaining after this one. Only one more in this initial round of the playoffs next week. And that is going to take place at Martinsville, another fantastic racetrack. And that's going to be an elimination race. Drivers going to have to work themselves into contention by the end of that race. And then Phoenix, Homestead, Richmond next round in the championship at Las Vegas in just a few weeks. And it's the drivers' wrapping up the practice session. Take a look at the standings as they come into tonight's event. Adam Cabot winning last week, advancing into the next round by nature of that victory. Connor Horn with 6 wins this season. The next one in line, he's got a good advantage to the cut line, but anything can happen. And I think as long as Connor gets a pretty solid finish in this race, he's going to be locked in with just a start next week at Martinsville. AJ Stravato, a decent margin, but not entirely comfortable. Keith Mato, Yusuf Ghali right there behind him, and then Jeff Wright, Mark Emerson, Dylan Parker currently on the inside of the cut line by just a handful of points. And then Jeremiah, Vincent, Elliott Butler, and Greg Wellen. And Alec Martinez, who did not start last week, he's got some ground to make up. He may be in a win and you're in situation only. I'm not sure he'll be able to point his way in. But Alec always up there in contention in these races, and we'll see what he can do here tonight as drivers getting up to speed for qualifying laps. Taking a look here at Yusuf Ghali as he streaks down the back straightaway, topping 160 miles an hour down into the inner loop or the bus stop, whatever you want to call it. Such a fun racetrack. One that I've been on a handful of times in real life. Just in a street car, but still pretty good speeds around here. And the surface is a little bit different than what you'll see here in iRacing. It's a lot smoother with the repave just 5 or so years ago. And I believe iRacing is actually in the process of scanning that new surface, or they've already scanned it and maybe working on getting that built into the sim. And that'll be very exciting to see that. As Yusuf Ghali down into turn number 1, we're going to just ride on board with him here and follow him along his lap. See how hard he's working the wheel up through those S's and now down into the braking zone here. You can really push the issue. Sounds like he's probably in 3rd gear, maybe 2nd. I don't know if he'd be shifting down that far. As Adam Cabot first lap in, 0.3 faster than Bailey Turner. Mark Emerson 0.6 off. Really good corner there for Yusuf, and through the final turn, down the front stretch. You can see he is really working that wheel. Dylan Parker to the top of the boards, and there goes Yusuf across the stripe. And he will go to the top now, 112.84. That is nearly what he ran in practice. So great lap time by Yusuf as he stays on the racetrack. Looks like AJ Stravato now goes to third. And man, these cars are really squirrely out here tonight. And yes, VSPEED Garage sponsoring tonight's race. That is obviously affiliated with us here at VSPEED. Real world automotive content. It's a channel right here on YouTube. You can check it out. VSPEED Garage. We've got a few different cars on the channel and just uploading automotive and racing related content. As Connor Horn now to the top, a 112.55. He beats his teammate by about 0.3 of a second. Connor Horn looking like he is going to be in top form here tonight. And always one of the cars to beat in the Virtual Racing League, but these road courses he is especially dangerous. As Alec Martinez just cruising around here. Just on his out lap. Like Zach Halpern out here. Trying to get his first lap time in. Nice and smooth through the final set of corners. Towards the stripe. Let's see what kind of lap time he gets. A 114.34. That'll be good for 8th quick. As Angelo Ronis also on track, the 29. And a key driver not going to be in tonight's race. He's missing the race. Keith Maiato, who is definitely one of the best road course drivers in this league. And could have had a good opportunity to win here tonight. But he will not be here, so he's going to be at a disadvantage heading into the elimination race next week at Martinsville. And yeah, Reggie, definitely a cool car, that Audi, and I've never seen another one in person, so definitely it was awesome to have it for that little amount of time, and I think it's off to a good home. But a cool car. I fixed a few things on it, learned a lot about it, and it's fun to have it on the channel there. And Angelo Ronis across the line. I think this is now his hot lap. That was actually just the out lap before. Alec Martinez parks it on the backstretch here. Looks like he'll be starting from the rear of the field. Or a reset here. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. Elliott Butler up to speed now. Going to try and improve on his second lap from a 1:15 flat. About 2.5 seconds off the pole time of Connor Horn. And look at that, really squirrely into the braking zone here in the bus stop. He overshoots it, and that is going to disqualify the lap. He makes a big mistake on the exit of the inner loop. Let's take a look at the weather. 86-degree air temp, 118-degree track temp. So it is going to be slick out here in these Cup cars. 750 horsepower low downforce package. Taking a look here, Angelo Ronis still trying to improve. That 29 car out of the final corner, 2.5 minutes left in qualifying. Headed towards the stripe. And there he goes, 113.52. That'll put him 6th fast as he really sends it into turn number 1. Here comes Alec Martinez, who will, I think, get one shot at a qualifying lap here. I'm not exactly sure. But he is up to speed down the backstretch into the final couple of corners here. enough time left. I think he's on his now fast lap. We'll see what he can do. One of the fastest in practice as he goes a little bit wide out of turn number 1, but not too bad at all. Down into the S's. Trying to hook right along that curb. These guys are just drifting through here tonight, and this is going to be a lot of fun to watch them race it up. And pushing the limits of these race cars down the backstretch towards the inner loop. Hard on the brakes, really late in the braking zone there. Able to get it woed up pretty nicely, though. Cuts the car back. I think he lost a little bit of time through there. But through the carousel. Back on the throttle. And 3 drivers yet to qualify would be Lane Sulfridge, Greg Wellen, and Eddie Trejo. Looks like they're all going to be starting from the back as Alec hard on the brakes there. Almost off into the sand. And through the final corner here under the bridge. Maybe a couple tires in the grass right there. Not the cleanest lap, but a 1:12.91. That'll put him 3rd quick. Just where he was in practice. So 15 seconds to go. Looks like Connor Horn's going to be the pole sitter. So let's start our grid rundown here. As they come to a close in qualifying, it is going to be Connor Horn on the pole. The number 67, a 6-time winner already this season. Looking to get win number 7 and lock himself into round number 2 of the playoffs. Alongside him, it is going to be Yusuf Ghali, the number 54 machine. In row number 2, it'll be Alec Martinez and Dylan Parker. Row number 3, it'll be AJ Stravato starting in 5th. Starting in 6th, it'll be Adam Cabot in the number 77, already a winner here in the playoffs. Rolling off from the 7th position, it is going to be Angelo Ronas. Starting 8th, it'll be Bailey Turner. Starting in 9th, it'll be Marcus Emerson, the number 22, and the 7 of Zach Halpern, rounding out the top 10. In 11th position, it is going to be Jeremiah Vincent. To his outside, it's going to be Elliot Butler in 12th. Rolling off 13th, it'll be Greg Wellen. 14th will be Eddie Trejo. And rounding out the field tonight, it'll be Lane Sulfridge in the number 71 Hot Wheels machine. So just 15 cars here tonight. Short field, but probably not going to be short on action. We're used to seeing this, or at least over the last few weeks, we've seen this. And we've had some really good and exciting races, even with just 15, 16 cars in the field. And that just goes to show the nature and the talent of the drivers in this league. As the field gets rolling here, going to be a nice long pace lap. If you are interested in getting involved with the Virtual Racing League, make sure to check them out. The link is in the video description, racevrl.com. I know they're going to be looking for some drivers to start off next season, and always looking for sponsors and just people to get involved in this racing action. A lot of good drivers here, and would love to see even more talented sim racers get in on the action here. And it's been a really fun season and a lot of twists and turns, first-time winners, drama, controversy, you name it. A little bit of everything here in the Virtual Racing League this season. Connor Horn has won the most races, but the real standout, I think, of this season so far is going to be Adam Cabot with 4 race victories after having not won previous to this season. He has had a breakout season, 4 wins 3 of them at very unique racetracks, and then the last one last week at Charlotte. See if he has an opportunity to challenge for another one here tonight. But cheer on your favorite driver. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for. Who do you think is going to win tonight's race? I think it could be one of these Toyotas here on the front row, but Alec Martinez, always a sneaky pick for these types of tracks. He was very good at COTA and was definitely second or third best car there behind Connor, as pace car going to make the hard right-hand turn onto pit lane, and green flag in the air. We're underway from Watkins Glen for the Virtual Racing League. Down the backstretch into the first hard braking zone at speed, and Connor Horn out in front by a couple car lengths over his teammate Yusuf Ghali, who's being hounded right now. Alec Martinez all over his back bumper, and then Dylan Parker right there. Dylan had a pretty solid run. I believe it was the Daytona road course. He was up there, I think, in the top 5. And he's up here right now in the top 5, challenging these top 3. AJ Stravato behind him, and then Adam Cabot and others. As out of the final corner here, Connor Horn able to hang on to the race lead all the way around. He'll lead lap number 1. Single file for the moment. Drivers trying to make it to lap number 20 without major mistakes. And there's one back there. The 24 Bailey Turner overshoots the corner. Gets back in line but loses a couple of spots. Jeremiah Vincent goes on by. Now he's got Elliott Butler and Zach Halpern behind him. Blink there from the 6, and I think Zach was referencing him. As here comes Greg Wellen looking to potentially do battle. This will be for the 12th spot. Not going to make it work just yet. Same status up here in the top 10. Nobody's really made any moves. The only driver to gain positions up here is going to be, well, Mark Emerson and Jeremiah Vincent both gained a spot, and that's by nature of Bailey Turner having overshot turn number 1, and he's trying to get one of those back now. Works to the inside, or the right side of Jeremiah Vincent down into turn 1, where he made the mistake last lap, but obviously learned from it much better this time. Stays on course. He'll move back up to the 9th position. As last week's winner, he is right here in the mix as well. Top 6 at the moment. Trying to track down AJ Stravato. These two were pretty close on speed, if I recall, at the Daytona road course. So definitely keep an eye on these guys. Oh, big wiggle right there. As the 77 has the 29 of Angelo Ronis all over the back. Angelo is right there, and already some damage to the back of the 77. Nicely through that corner, closes up about a car length. And that time Adam beats him to the throttle out of the final corner down towards the start-finish line. Connor Horn out in front still. 6.5 tenths in front of Yusuf Ghali. Alec Martinez now back about a 1.5 seconds. And AJ Stravato a little bit wide right there. he has lost some significant ground to Dylan Parker. We'll see if he can gain that back here through this stage. The top 8 do earn stage points. And oh, in the corner there, 77 really sent it in. Look at that. He made up a good 6 or 7 car lengths. Let's go back and actually see if we can... Just pointed it where it needed to go. I think AJ maybe had a little bit of wheel hop on the brakes. That cost him some time for sure. But they still ride 5th and 6th in the same order as before. Looking for other battles on track. Elliott Butler in the mix back here. He's lost a position, I believe, to Jeremiah Vincent. Oh no, this is how they have been running. But 3 cars kind of grouped up here, 10th, 11th, 12th. Greg Wellen still trying to keep up with those guys, and then Eddie Trejo and Lane Sulfridge rounding out the field. Connor out in front though, about a second, and second place might start to be contested here as the 18 of Alec Martinez closing up. And Alec, a winner in the Below the Double Yellow Xfinity Series Monday night at Daytona. Just beat Jeremiah Vincent to the line at the end. Very close finish there. And Alec has not won in this league since the season opener. So you know he's looking to get back to victory lane at some point here, and he's definitely got the speed almost every single race to do so. Just needs to get the strategy down. He's always trying to save tires or trying to go on an alternate strategy, and sometimes it looks like it's going to be the way to go and something happens and it ends up not working out. But Alec is a smart racer, and he's always trying stuff, trying to improve and make up the distance on some of these other guys who maybe have a bit more just raw pace or a bit more experience. But Alec is definitely one of the young talents here in iRacing, and good to see him out here challenging week in and week out. Behind him, Dylan Parker is starting to fade back into the hands of AJ Stravato. It's only about 7/10. And Mark Emerson's also starting to catch up towards this little group of race cars. And Bailey Turner also starting to make some inroads a bit farther back. So going to keep an eye on this cluster of race cars. No change anywhere to this point. Really just kind of, it looks like the top 7 have not changed positions since the start of the race. Mark Emerson, Bailey Turner have swapped spots since the starting point, and then Jeremiah Vincent and Zach Halpern also swapped positions. Other than that, everybody is right where they started in tonight's event. Not many passes being made. I think that's really just the nature of the cars here tonight. So slippery with this 118-degree track tip. Definitely one of the closest battles is here for second place. Yusuf Ghali, Alec Martinez racing it up. Alex not let the 54 get away. Last time by, a 10th faster out of the 18. Our blimp camera gets a bit disoriented right there. Looking for other battles. Nobody within 6/10 of any other driver, except now AJ Stravato. he is definitely closed up to Dylan Parker. Picked up another couple tenths over the last 2 laps. Interesting to see the speeds around here. I know that in my time personally on the racetrack in my Camaro, looking at the speeds through here, I was not going quite this fast, but through the carousel, surprisingly, it was not much different than what these guys are doing here in the sim. Although these guys are lapping about 15 seconds a lap faster than I could possibly do. Pretty good pace here with the track temp the way it is. And just something to note, Connor ran about 3 tenths slower than Yusuf last time around. And Alec Martinez did not have a good lap. He lost 7 tenths to Yusuf. Looking for fastest lap time. And that appears to be Adam Cabot. He and Dylan Parker, nearly identical lap times, were the fastest on track. And or actually, other than Yusuf Ghali, Yusuf was a 1:14.3. Those guys in the 1:14.4s, everybody else at least a 1:14.5 or higher. Looks like Mark Emerson and Bailey Turner might be setting up to do battle here for that final points paying position. Mark gets up on the curb there, turn 6, now through turn 7. Little wheel hop on the brakes there, sliding it up out of the corner, but good job. He extends that margin. A couple more car lengths and really good drive down the front stretch here. But lap time is really falling off for Mark. That was a 1:16 to the leaders, 1:14.7. And you can see just exactly why. He is sliding all over the place right there. And that is not the camera we were looking for. The 24 is really pushing him to drive hard. And Mark, you can see, is struggling to put the power down. Another driver not here tonight, who hasn't really been here since about the midpoint of the season. That is Eric Hutton, who is pretty good at this racetrack too, from what I've seen. Pretty good road course racer, and he'd be up there challenging in the top 5 right now, I think, but has not been around since I think about race 10. Connor, though, he's maintaining this gap now. Last time around was almost identical lap times with Yusuf. This time, Yusuf about a 0.5 tenth faster. They'll need to pick up a little bit more than that. As Bailey Turner making a move here on Mark Emerson. Trying to get alongside him up out of turn number 1. Gets a really good launch, and Mark not going to just roll over and let him have it. But there goes the 24. He'll take 8th spot away. And Mark, real big wiggle there through the S's. Out of the preferred groove. And while AJ Stravato has now lost 2 spots, there goes Adam Cabot and Angelo Ronas. So AJ, who had made up a lot of ground on Dylan Parker, now fades to 7th. Oh, look at that big slide right there, the 29. He's pushing it. Zach Halper and Jeremiah Vincent pretty close here. Zach overshoots the corner a bit. That'll cost him some time. And Elliott Butler, big wiggle right there. As Greg Wellen is closed up on these guys. He's been able to just kind of ride it out. Very smooth, steady pace. He's lost time to the leaders, but to this group in front of him, he has been able to maintain and actually now close back up. So that 94 car could be setting himself up for potentially top 10 finish if he can continue to be smooth like this. Yeah, and AJ Stravado definitely struggling at this point. Last time around, a 116.3 to the leaders, 114.8. So AJ has used all the tires up on that number 33 machine. Already 2 seconds behind Angelo, and this time by a 116.4. So still about a second and a half slower than the race leaders. Not sure if he's doing anything other than trying to just make it to the end. I don't know if anyone has concerns about fuel. Pretty well spaced out at the moment. However, Yusuf Ghali and Alec Martinez, they're starting to track down the race leader. Alec was 0.3 faster than these two cars in front of him, and they have definitely closed the gap up a little bit more on Connor Horn. We saw Yusuf, I think it was at Coda, really good on the long run. And almost tracked down Connor there to get the stage win. Ultimately, things didn't go exactly how he wanted in the second half of that race. He could kind of make up for that. Still looking for a race win this season. He is the champion from last year, defending series champion, who won the last 2 races of the season. Has yet to find victory lane here in 2021, but he has come close many times. I think 3 or 4 runner-up finishes in the last 10 or so races. After having a dismal start to the season, he was way out of it. I think he was like 20th or outside the top 20 in points. And he's made a huge recovery, really hard into the braking zone right there. Still trying to track down Connor. Oh, big slide from Alec Martinez. He's really trying to drive this thing, using all the tire he can. These guys now pretty even up here at the front. Connor a 115.25. The other two behind him a 115.16, a 115.19. So they are catching him. But still, it may not be fast enough. They need to pick up even more than that. Yusuf was a 10th faster. He might just get there at this pace, but it's probably going to take at least a decent mistake from Connor. Still so far to go, though. I mean, 5 laps around here. It's over 6 minutes. They have caught up to the 71 of Lane Sulfridge, who's the last car on track in 15th. Looking like he may end up getting lapped here. And he will just get out of the way. Already huge damage on the 71. Didn't see what happened in the lane, but he has definitely run into issues. And those issues are probably one of the guardrails around here, but still trying to finish the race. It appears as now he may bring it into pit lane, and he will attempt to get that damage repaired. Connor Horn, though, is led from the drop of the green flag. Out in front, just a few laps to go. We're going to run a quick commercial. We'll be right back for the last couple laps of the stage.
Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
Back to the racetrack now as Alec Martinez putting heavy pressure on Yusuf Ghali for second. Connor Horn still maintaining a little less than a second race lead. And fourth place Dylan Parker, he's been able to maintain that position all race long. It looks like Yusuf maybe starting to struggle just a little bit here, and Alec has had a couple of really nice smooth laps and a few really good corners. Now the gap to the race lead up over a second, so Connor maybe had a couple off laps and now back in the groove. His last time 4/10 faster than Yusuf and 3/10 faster than Alec. But Alec really starting to find some pace right here. And I think if he can get past that 54, he might have a shot at Connor. But 3 laps remaining in the stage. Definitely needs to make that move on this lap if he wants any opportunity to go up there and win the stage. Oh, a mistake there from the 54, off into the dirt a couple times. That opens the door. Alec tries to get the nose in there, can't get close enough. And he is all over the back bumper right now. Yusuf Ghali with issues, using the tires up here. In the last few laps, he has faded. Alec trying to set him up, trying to get a good run. Really nice run right there. Still just right tucked in behind him. Can't find his spot to make the pass just yet, but now really good run out of the final corner. He's going to look to the inside. Yusuf's going to throw the block down the front stretch. And Alec now looking to the outside. He's going to try and go the long way. Now maybe a little bit of a crossover. 54 parks the bus in the middle of the turn. That's going to prevent Alec from making that move, but he's going to look down low, headed into the S's. Can't get there. Nose to tail they go. Connor Horn driving away. Looking like he's going to end up winning the stage with the battle for second. Can't look away from this one. They are sliding all over, racing hard. Down into the braking zone in the bus stop. Alec Martinez gets to the inside. And he has to back out of it. 54 doesn't cut him any slack. Doesn't back out of it. And Alec cut Yusuf Ghali a break right there. He might not cut him too many more, though, as here up out of the carousel, still within a car length for second spot. And they have lost now 2 seconds here in the last 2 laps. Just racing it up like this. And then Dylan Parker, he's actually starting to close in, but just a bit too far back. What a battle, though, for second spot. And no other battles on track really to speak of. It looks like Zach Halpern got around Jeremiah Vincent for 10th and or 9th and 10th. Here goes Alec looking once again to the inside. Not going to attempt to make it happen. And lost a little bit of ground there with that feigned move. And up through the S's, he is really pushing that race car, and he's been a bit better than Yusuf through there. Really big drive up at the top of the hill. And he's going to be all over the 54 into the bus stop. Oh, makes a dive there almost into the guardrail. And that's going to cost him, though. I think he might have even gotten a little time penalty. And I think he's lost his shot now, 5 car lengths behind. Yusuf Ghali looks like he might be able to hang on, but Alex not done yet. Look at him driving it up out of the carousel. Two more corners. He is driving that thing, driving the wheels off of it, as they say. And he is still pushing that car, trying to get there. He gets, oh, Yusuf Ghali really low. He's going to come to pit lane. And the stage should be coming to an end. Connor Horn looks like he has won the stage. Now Alec Martinez in second. I'm not sure if they're actually throwing a yellow. Oh, there it is. The stage results, your top 8 look as so. Connor Horn wins it over Alec Martinez with with Yusuf Ghali coming to pit lane right there at the end of the stage. Not sure if that's a penalty or anything like that, but Dylan Parker 3rd, Adam Cabot 4th, Angelo Ronas 5th, Yusuf Ghali 6th, AJ Stravato 7th, Bailey Turner in 8th. So Yusuf still earning some stage points, and he's on pit lane. As the field's going to work to catch back up to the pace car. So it could be a little bit right here. Let's go to a quick side-by-side. We'll be back and probably try and interview Connor when everything gets settled back out after the pit stops. We'll be right back.
We've been waiting for this moment. Generations of innovation all coming together in one place. A pedigree of more than 70 years of NASCAR Cup Series history, from the past to the present, from Petty to Earnhardt to Elliott. Today, there's no more waiting. The future of NASCAR is now. Drive the next-gen cars today on iRacing and step into the next generation of racing.
Winning the battle off pit road, it's Connor Horn over Alec Martinez, Dylan Parker, Adam Cabot, Angelo Ronas, AJ Stravato, Bailey Turner, Zach Halpern, Jeremiah Vincent, Mark Emerson, the top 10 out of the pit lane, but Yusuf Ghali, who just pit there at the very end of the stage, he'll inherit the race lead. We'll see how important the clean air is, if it is at all. Connor, though, dominating the first stage. If we can pull him up here into the booth and get a quick word in with him. Connor Horn, Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got me.
Yep, 10-4.
Well, Connor, you drove away for most of that stage, and then they started reeling you back in, and then got to battle in behind you. You ended up leading every lap there in stage number 1, but now behind your teammate. How's it looking for stage 2?
Yusuf exchanged our tire wear, and compared to his tire wear pitting 2 laps earlier than us, or even 3, my tire wear looked much better on the rears especially, but I just couldn't find a way to pull away as much as I thought I could. And he was battling with Attic a lot, but his tires were worse, but it still didn't seem like I was pulling away like I thought I could. So there's probably somewhere I can find more speed, possibly. I really don't think I can push the rears more. I just lost all front grip by near the end, so we're gonna have to try to figure something out. I think I gotta get by him quick, because with the dirty air, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pass him that easily, so it's going to be tough. And I'm also gonna have to keep Alec behind me on the restart, because if he gets by me and I drop back to 3rd, that's too much track position to recover. So this restart's gonna be pretty key to who wins this race, because I think it's a 3-horse race, me, Yusuf, and Alec. I don't think Dylan and Adam can steal it, but I think it's possible with the strategy it's gonna play out, so this should be somewhat wild.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about dirty air, but you basically addressed it all for me, and we'll see how it goes for you here on the restart. But definitely looking strong out there once again, looking for win number 7, and good luck the rest of the way.
Therefore, appreciate it, Adam.
All right, that is Connor Horn, number 67, 6-time race winner this season. As I bring him back down in with his teammates, he'll be restarting from 2nd. And Yusuf Ghali will be the race leader. So, shaking things up a little bit. He said his tire wear was better than Yusuf's, but those guys were able to hang tough with him for pretty much the whole stage, about 8/10 behind, or a second behind, somewhere in that range. We'll see how it goes. In stage 2, things are definitely going to pick up in intensity. Some drivers who maybe were biding their time there. I'm not sure if this is going to be any kind of a penalty. I don't think it is here under yellow, as they take out a bunch of the orange cones. But I know Connor commented, or rather Reggie commented, saying Connor probably going to win tonight, but this was not necessarily something we expected. The track position and dirty air can be a big factor. And we've seen Yusuf be really strong when he's able to get out to the lead in some of these races. Been really fast at these road courses as well. He's been a true competitor in that 67. But it'll be just over 30 laps to go. Stage 1 in the books. Stage 2 coming up. And pace car waiting to make that hard right-hand turn on the pit road, and there he goes. And spinning the tires is Alec Martinez, and that opens the door for Dylan Parker to take over 3rd. We'll see if Alec really dives it down into turn number 1. He's going to get back to the inside, and still side by side for the race lead. Contact, though. Connor gets shoved off the racetrack, and exactly what he did not want to happen. All the way now back to, this will be for 6th or 7th, as he's side by side with AJ Stravato. And Connor Horn back to the 6th spot. He's got his work cut out for him here in stage 2. One of the fastest cars now midway through the field. And Yusuf Ghali out in front, loving what he's seeing, even though it's a teammate. He sees an opportunity to win, maybe. And side by side, Alec Martinez and Adam Cabot. Alec did not have the restart he needed as well. He had a big mistake there on the initial launch. And right now he's got pressure from Connor right behind him. The little rubbing down into turn number 1 is what cost Connor all that track position as he tries to make the pass now on Alec Martinez. Looks like he will. And he's even going to go for another one here. Adam Cabot and Connor Horn side by side. Cabot almost off the racetrack. And they are going to be dead side by side. Big wiggle there from the 77. Connor Horn clears him though back up to 4th. So he loses 4 spots. He's already gained 2 of them back. It's behind him. Alec Martinez trying to complete the pass on Adam Cabot. Looks like he will. Down into the S's. Yes, he does clear him. So a bit of commentator's curse potentially, but look at this. Dylan Parker to the race lead at Watkins Glen. The 3 car out in front. He gets past Yusuf Ghali. Behind them, it's Angelo Ronis, the 29 machinist. Yusuf really pushing the issue down into the bus stop all race long. He's getting so close to that wall. Meanwhile, as these guys have raced it up, Connor's right here now on the back bumper of Angelo for 3rd spot. And he's going to try and make the move down the backstretch here. Looks to the inside. Looks like the 29 just going to let him go. A little rub in there down into the turn. Able to clear him. Connor Horn back to 3rd position. What a drive so far after the issue in turn 1. He's already made up 3 of the 4 spots he's lost. And it is not over. It looked like Connor might have been out of contention with all of that going on. And that does not appear to be the case. He is right back up here in the podium positions. Another driver to keep an eye on, Alec Martinez. He was really good there at the tail end of stage 1. And some problems here at the beginning of stage 2. He's in 5th position right now. I think he might be saving his tires a little bit. And man, look at this. Dylan Parker leading the way. I know Dylan said that he wasn't sure about the road course, how he was going to perform here, but he's doing a great job. He finished 4th in stage, or 3rd in stage number 1 with Yusuf pitting. And now the battle for 2nd. Yusuf Ghali trying to hold off Connor Horn, and Connor makes the pass around the outside. What a pass, what a move by the 67 back to the runner-up spot, and now he's set to track down Dylan Parker. He's like, oh man, I thought I had an opportunity to maybe win this thing. And now he sees the fastest car tracking him back down. It's all over the curb right there, and that's going to cost him 2 car lengths. And the Toyota machine's now 2nd and 3rd position. A little rub on the curb there for the 3. Single file pretty much all the way back. We do have some close racing. That's Bailey Turner, AJ Servato, a few car lengths apart. Everybody in front of them also just a handful of car lengths, as Bailey now looks to make a move to the right side, stays back in line. Up at the front though, Connor Horn is there, 1 car length behind the 3 of Dylan Parker, and he's got a great run out of the carousel, gets to the right side, down the backstretch. He is there. Does Dylan roll over for him? Down into the braking zone, side by side. Got to be so careful through there, but back to the lead. Connor Horn, the pass on the outside 2 laps in a row. Don't know how he did it there. That is not a way you make passes around this racetrack, but he's done it 2 times now, and he's got the lead back and the race in his control. How much did he use the tires, though, those few laps? Said his tire wear was good last time, so he's trying to use it up a little bit more. So impressive though, back to 6th and all the way to the race lead in only about 3 laps. That is the car to beat here tonight. I think that 67. He's got something on all these other drivers. But Yusuf Ghali trying to make the move on Dylan Parker. He is just all over the back bumper. Down into the carousel. Almost gives him a shove up out of the corner. But Dylan really struggling now. He used the tires up those first few laps, and now he's paying the price. Yusuf looks low. 3-car blocks him down into the braking zone. Meanwhile, Alec Martinez taking 4th spot away from Angelo Ronas. So Alec kind of the same mind as what we see from him on the oval tracks, where he really saves a lot in the first few laps, and then he drives right on past you as the laps wear on. Battle for second, though. Dylan Parker on the outside. Here goes Yusuf. Dives to the inside in turn 1. Even up out of the corner. Wiggle there from the 3-car. He's going to lose that spot down into the S's. He'll slot back in line behind the 54, but Alec Martinez now all over him, trying to find a way around. This is some good, hard racing up here. Look at this, nose to tail, 5 cars deep. Meanwhile, Connor Horn stretching it out now, 1.2 seconds up over Yusuf Ghali. And driving away, he has found something here on this short run at least. And I'm not sure they can make it the entire distance to the end of the race. They're probably going to have to make at least one green flag pit stop. And we'll have to see what they do for strategy. When do they make that stop? Better to pit early and gain some time and have some worse tires for a couple laps? Or does it make more sense to pit late? Sometimes the overcut works on ovals, but it's not always the best strategy on these road courses. Separation now. We've got 3 cars up here battling for second. Alec Martinez still not able to get around Dylan Parker. He's been all over him, and here comes Angelo Ronas. Real nice run down into the bus stop, and then Adam Cabot, last week's winner. And oh, mistake from Dylan Parker. Really went wide on the entry to the carousel. That gives 3rd spot away. He's going to try and cut back underneath. Can't do it. He'll slot back into 4th spot. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is what makes Watkins Glen so great. High-speed corners on a road course. And a few of these technical turns as well, where you're really hard on the brakes. You can make a mistake one lap, lose some spots, make a perfect lap the next one, and make those spots right back up. It's such a driver's track. You can really just wring every ounce of speed out of your race car. Push the limits, and that is not something you can necessarily do at the other NASCAR road courses. And a driver who's absolutely got it down to his science here tonight, that is Connor Horn. He has led 25 of the 31 laps completed, and driving away now up over 2.2 seconds on Yusuf Ghali as they battle it up for second back there. Connor's just wheeling it out away from them. And this is kind of like what we saw late in stage 1, where they're battling for second as the leader's driving away. But how about this change of position? Dylan Parker, who was leading not all that long ago, he's now back to 6th. Adam Cabot gets around up to 5th. Dylan, who finished stage 1 in 3rd. Fading a little bit here. Pushed the car just a little too hard in those opening laps, I think, and paying the price. He is not giving up here. Adam Cabot right out in front of him. It's so interesting to see these guys send it down into the bus stop like this. I don't know if I've ever really seen drivers slide it into the corner like that. It's not generally how I approach that corner, but must be something with this tire package, aero package. That's the way to get around here. Meanwhile, does this 67 ever experience fall off in this run, or is he just pushing as hard as he can? He's going to split it down the middle. I'd be interested to see when drivers make pit stops. Looks like Jeremiah Vincent's been on pit lane for about a minute and a half. Also, the 6 of Elliott Butler is well behind the field. He's got some left front damage. I think he's found the Armco barrier at some point. 21 of Eddie Trejo. He's just running back here, the 12th position, trying to keep this car in one piece and finish this thing off. I can't get over how tight the racing is up here still, as Alec Martinez way up over the curb there. He is really sliding that thing out of the bus stop, trying to track down the 54 and make a move on him at some point. But the lead now 3.2 seconds from Connor Horn to Yusuf Ghali, and growing, continuing to increase. Connor found something. He said he knew he could probably push it a little harder. Compared tires with Yusuf, and Yusuf had burned him up a little bit more, and he was behind him. So Connor's driving that car an extra 10% harder, and he is definitely reaping the benefits of doing so. He is just driving away from these guys as they battle it up for second. Angelo Rona's sticking right up here in this battle, and Adam Cabot, Dylan Parker still in contention. And then you go back a little farther, Bailey Turner, AJ Scarpato, that's 7th and 8th. Oh, and AJ way up over the curb right there. And then Zach Halpern up to 9th spot. So Zach, who started in the top 10. You know, he said he wasn't a big fan of road courses, but he is up here running in the top 10. Mark Emerson in 10th spot right now has not had quite the run that I expected from him. I know Mark's a pretty good road course racer. He had a good run at the Daytona road course. Just not quite up to speed with some of these guys in front of him. But he might have something in mind in terms of, you know, saving tires or some kind of an alternate strategy to maybe get a little better finish out of it. Elliott Butler brought it down pit lane. He got a 24-second service completed on that race car, so a little bit of damage repair on the left front. As this is the battle for second. Alec Martinez almost gets to the inside of Yusuf through the S's, and you cannot pass there. If the lane closes up on you like that, there's just no way to make the move when you're pretty much flat out through there. And oh, maybe a mistake by Yusuf. Really big slide down into the carousel. Still able to carry a lot of good speed. But look at that, he is just sideways, and Alec behind him also wheeling this car. Down into turn number 6. Back on the throttle a little bit sooner, all over the back bumper. A little bit better through there, but dead even down the straight. Looks to the right side, not going to make the move. Yusuf maybe a little deep in the braking zone there. That could cost him opening the door. No, he's going to shut the door on the 18 as Alec gets up on the curb a little bit. Behind them, Adam Cabot, Dylan Parker. They were nearly side by side into the S's. But the race lead now up over 4 seconds. Connor Horn down into the carousel as these guys just exiting the bus stop now. That matte black Toyota Camry just getting smaller and smaller out in front of Yusuf Ghali. I'm not sure there's much they can do about it. I think Connor would have to make a mistake. We see some battling going on back here. Bailey Turner, AJ Stravato switching positions. And AJ overshoots the corner, trying to outbrake the 24. And oh, they make some contact there through the final turn. Big slide wiggling right there. They're still neck and neck. AJ surrenders that spot. I think he knows he made a mistake. And he'll give that spot right back to Bailey, but he had taken it for a moment. Oh no, Yusuf Ghali up into the wall on 2 wheels. Disaster for the 54 who was riding in second spot, and now he's slow. Big trouble as that car is broken. What happened here? Gets loose, a little contact maybe, but that is a hard hit into the barrier. Go back to another view of this. We'll see if they actually made any contact. And it sure looks like it from that view. I'm trying to get another one. I can't tell. Oh yeah, a little tap right there and then up on the wall. And Yusuf Ghali going from potential podium finish. He's now in 9th with a heavily damaged race car. And Alec Martinez to 2nd. Definitely not an intentional thing there. I saw Yusuf was kind of struggling on that that time through the S's. But that is not, I don't think that's how Alec wants to race people. So just an accident right there. There's a 29. Oh, and big issue there. Almost contact. Oh, and Dylan Parker hard crash. He's up and over. And they're stopped in the middle of the racetrack. As, Bailey Turner was going to avoid it, and AJ Stravato. Oh my gosh, and they made contact too. It's gone crazy. What happened here? The 29 of Angelo Ronis, who's running up in the top 5, he goes straight into the wall into Adam Cabot. Little touch there, great save by the 77, and then Dylan Parker, who had a really good run going, he ends up on his lid. And then they stack up there. This is just insane. Let's go on board here. 2 laps in a row in the S's. Just absolute chaos as he gets pitched up onto 2 wheels onto the roof and does not end up rolling back over. A couple drivers out of this one that had a good shot at top 5 finishes, and this shakes things up drastically. That is just incredible. It's completely unexpected for those things to happen when we had nothing but clean racing in stage 1. Connor Horn gets bumped out of the way, comes driving back up, and then he drives off into the distance, into the sunset. And then Yusuf Ghali, who'd been really 2nd or 3rd fastest all race long, he ends up on 2 wheels, now parked on pit lane. And Dylan Parker, who led a few laps there and was up in contention for a top 5, maybe even a podium if things worked out. He's now parked on pit lane. Angelo Ronis parked on pit lane. And right now it's Connor Horn by 5.3 seconds. And here comes Alec Martinez. He's going to try and make up some of that ground by short pitting here. Lap 41. Bailey Turner also going to bring it in this time onto the pit lane. And he almost loses it under braking. Bailey with a bit of damage, I think. That promotes AJ Stravato now up to 2nd. He's got Elliott Butler on his bumper, but Elliott 1 lap down. If you're enjoying what you're seeing here tonight on VSPEED, make sure to follow us here on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well, to stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. Really appreciate it, and I do hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast. This has been a crazy turn of events in the second half of this race. And we still got quite a ways to go, but the field just got drastically smaller. And this is playoff racing here in the Virtual Racing League. These have implications on some of these drivers. We're going to pull the points up right now as they came into tonight's race. Adam Cabot locked in. Connor Horn looks like he's going to be on his way to locking himself in. And AJ Stravato, pretty solid run going still. He'll get most likely a top 5 without any major mistakes. My auto didn't show up. Yusuf Ghali now crashed out. Jeff Wright isn't here. Mark Emerson not having his best performance, but might end up with the top 10. Dylan Parker out of the race. Jeremiah Vincent also out of the race. Elliott Butler towards the, he's at the back end of the top 10 here. Greg Wellen also, actually Greg's in 5th right now, so this could be a good opportunity for those guys below the cut line to make up ground. As Connor Horn has brought it on to pit lane just last time, getting service completed and 4 tires and fuel, and right now a couple seconds in front of Adam Cabot, who pit 2 laps prior, and he's got heavy pressure from Alec Martinez, who's just getting back up to speed here, 1 lap on his tires, and he's going to take away that spot. And this will put Alec about 2.5 seconds behind Connor. With 1 lap older tires, we'll see if Alec has anything to challenge the 67 and what has been a ridiculous second half of this race. Meanwhile, AJ Stravato staying on the racetrack, not going to bring it in just yet. Looks like he's going to attempt to do an overcut and just try and lead a few laps here while he can. Hope for chaos to ensue behind him. We've already seen it happen as Eddie Trejo comes to a stop in his stall. And looks like everybody but AJ has made a pit stop. Elliott Butler pit 7 laps ago, so I'm not sure if he's going to make it or not. He'll be right there at the end in terms of making it on fuel. Meanwhile, keeping an eye on the drivers here. Once AJ pits, that will promote Connor Horn back to the race lead, then Alec Martinez, Adam Cabot. But, oh, big problem right there out of the top of the S's for Alec Martinez. He got all up in the grass. Adam Cabot not too far behind. He could challenge for the 2nd spot when it all cycles out. He'll end up in a podium spot. And then about 11 seconds behind him, it is going to be Bailey Turner. So we'll see when AJ brings it in, and here he comes right now. This will promote Connor Horn back to the race lead as here comes Connor. Right past the start-finish line. And then those are 2nd and 3rd off in the distance. Alec Martinez, Adam Cabot. A little over 10 laps to go. Things are crazy here. And Connor Horn back to the race lead. We'll be right back after a quick side-by-side commercial break.
We've been waiting for this moment. Generations of innovation all coming together in one place. The pedigree of more than 70 years of NASCAR Cup Series history, from the past to the present, from Petty to Earnhardt to Elliott. Today, there's no more waiting. The future of NASCAR is now. Drive the next-gen cars today on iRacing and step into the next generation of racing.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for baby skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to Drops.com. The first one's on us.
Connor Horn out in front here at Watkins Glen, looking for win number 7 for the driver of the 67. Dominating performance. He's led 40 out of 47 laps after losing the lead and losing some track position at the beginning of stage number 2. He got it all back in just a few laps and drove away. Right now has a 4.2 second lead over Alec Martinez, riding in that second spot. Good race for Alec, but not quite enough speed, I think, to get up there and win today. But Adam Cabot riding third as Yusuf Ghali back on the racetrack. Let's see if Yusuf has any hard feelings for that number 18 out there in front of him. Bailey Turner in the 4th spot right now. Really solid race for Bailey, who avoided near disaster with the 3 car of Dylan Parker on his lid. Mark Emerson riding in that 5th spot. Good run for Mark after what was looking to be a bit of a disappointing performance. He's been able to survive and ride 5th now, but he's got Zach Halpern closing in 6th spot. They're on equal tires, so this will be a battle to watch. AJ Stravato, a few lap fresher tires, but he is back in 7th right now with pretty good damage to the nose of that race car. Greg Wellen back here in 8th. 9th position is going to be Elliott Butler, first car 1 lap down. 10th is Eddie Trejo, 1 lap down as well. Yusuf Ghali back on track, 11th spot after leading 4 laps today. Not going to get the finish he was looking for. Angelo Ronis on pit road, he's 12th. Dylan Parker 13th, led a couple laps. Jeremiah Vincent 14th, and Lane Sulfridge behind the wall in the 15th position, 24 laps down. That's how they all run right now, coming to 6 laps to go. The gap's still 4.5 seconds. Connor Horn looks to be on his way to victory for the 7th time this season. This would be his first playoff win. To lock him into round number 2. This is setting up to be a pretty good battle right here for 22. Mark Emerson, a playoff driver, battling with Zach Halpern, who's not in those playoffs, but looking to kind of spoil the party and get up there and get a top 5 at what he was not looking forward to in a road course. And he's putting some big pressure now on the 22 up out of the final corner. See if he makes a move down in turn 1. Really good drive. It's Dylan Parker back on the racetrack, car that was upside down not all that long ago. Going to pull back on track. And fresh tires on that car on pit road for 14 minutes. Getting repairs done. And I'd say that's pretty speedy, honestly, for a car that was upside down. And Isaac, that was Drops, one of the sponsors of VSPEED. And I'll have to get you the information on where to get those laundry pods, but they're a great product. And they make it very convenient to do laundry. Just throw in the pods. You don't have to worry about those bottles of detergent or anything like that. But yeah, definitely a great ad. Really love that one. And it's one of the classics here on VSPEED. As 5 laps to go, Connor Horn out in front. The gap is still increasing, 5.2 seconds to Alec Martinez, who's driven also away from Adam Cabot. And then everybody else at least 20 seconds behind in Bailey Turner, Mark Emerson, Zach Halper, and AJ Stravato, all under 30 seconds behind, and then Greg Wellen about 40 seconds back, but still on the lead lap. And really a good race here for Greg. No issues, didn't get into anybody, didn't cause any problems, and he's going to cruise on out of here with a top 10 finish, assuming no mistakes here in the last few laps. So got to give a big attaboy to the 94. A winner this season at the iRacing Super Speedway, and here in the playoffs, you know, it's going to be about consistency here in this first round. You need those good finishes if you're not going to go out there and take wins. And a top 10 tonight going to be pretty good with a few guys not showing up or not performing as they might have liked. This could be enough to get them inside the top 8. But issues, Mark Emerson, I think, had a problem. Go back and find out. Oh, yes. There's a problem. This battle that was getting pretty good right here. Oh, Zach just sent it in really deep. Gets into the quarter panel, sends the 22 around into the gravel. See if we can get another view on that one. And Zach was pretty far back on him, and then just either missed the braking zone or was trying to do something different there, but that is not how you want to get around people. And Mark goes around, but able to continue. He loses 2 spots in the process. Still a few seconds in front of Greg Wellen. Connor Horn coming back around to take 3 laps to go, 5.6 seconds out in front, and no real battles for position to speak of. The closest would be Greg Wellen and Mark Emerson, and also AJ Stravato, Zach Halpern, only separated by a couple of seconds. And AJ on 4-lap fresher tires, but he's got much heavier damage. But still trying to drive up there and get the best finish he can. This would be a top 5 even with his issues here tonight. And we do want to thank all of you for coming out and watching. I know it's a small field here at Watkins Glen, but I think we've gotten our money's worth. I mean, it is free attendance, but I think it's been a very entertaining race. I know they're a bit spread out right now, but just who could have predicted cars upside down in the S's and up on two wheels, just like 2 laps in a row, and the intense racing we had here in stage number 2. I mean, Connor Horn absolutely dominant in terms of performance and speed here tonight. He's 6 seconds ahead. Alec Martinez, a valiant effort, really fast here tonight as well, but just not going to be quite enough for Connor unless Connor makes some big mistakes here. Very fun race at one of my favorite tracks. It's always fun to come out here and watch these. If you haven't been to the racetrack in real life, definitely would suggest it. It is just an incredible environment. This area of New York is beautiful. It's kind of hard to describe, but you've got a lot of lakes around and forests, and then you've got this just up on top of a hill with quaint little villages surrounding it, and it is quite the area to spend time. And the history of this racetrack, it goes without saying, it is one of the most storied racetracks in the world. F1 having raced here, IMSA, Trans Am, NASCAR, all those series. And right now it's Virtual Racing League at the racetrack, and Connor Horn dominating, white flag in the air. Just 7 more corners for the driver of the 67 to lock himself into round number 2. And when it looked like hope might have been lost there at the beginning of the stage, he clawed his way back to the front and has not looked back. No one has been able to touch him since then. Keeping an eye on some of these other drivers a bit farther back. AJ Stravato's cut the deficit in half to Zach Halpern. Just 1.4 seconds between them. So that is going to be the closest battle for position there. 35 seconds behind Connor, who's making his way up out of the carousel. Down the short chute into turn number 6. Alec Martinez off in the distance there. Has actually started to match lap times, but it's just too little, too late. Connor Horn out of turn 6, now into turn number 7. Back to the front straightaway under the bridge here at Watkins Glen. It is going to be Connor Horn, his 7th win of the season. Look at that happy man there in the Toyota Camry, locking himself into round number 2. Alec Martinez happy to have survived, and he ends up 2nd place. Adam Cabot coming in 3rd here. Great run for Adam as well, backing up his win last week at Charlotte. And then Bailey Turner gonna end up 4th. Zach Halpern 5th. Here is AJ Stravato. He is there. Dylan Parker off the racetrack. AJ's gonna send it down into the last corner on the curb. Not gonna get there. Zach Halpern gonna end up with a top 5 finish here tonight. Great run from Zach. And AJ finishes 6th. Mark Emerson quite a few seconds back. He'll end up in the 7th spot. But this is your race winner here, Connor Horn, burning it down. Congratulations to Connor on another race win here in the Virtual Racing League. 7th win of the season and a well-deserved one. 48 out of 55 laps led. He takes the victory. We'll be right back after a quick commercial to talk to the top 3 finishers.
And now for the most famous words in motorsport.
Here comes Seth Hatchell right to the back bumper of the 32. And this has been so hard to pass down here, but Emerson gonna clear Mayato. Not gonna go low. He's gonna try and fake the 48. Stravato using the inside lane. Mayato now up half a groove. The 2nd position looks for his first race win. Oh, hard contact. Mayato up in the air, up on the hood, on top of the Geico machine. All over his back bumper. Gonna have to be very tactical with his moves. Oh, and hard under brake
slide out of turn number 1. Here comes Chris Samar, Kevin Cornelius. They're going to make a charge in the third lane. Is it too little, too late? Are they going to have the run out of turn number 4? Mark Emerson down low. They're all going to wreck. Dennis Fairclough in the lead right now. Here comes Nick Gardner.
And back at the racetrack now, we're going to be pulling up third place finisher first. We'll do this a little bit differently. Adam Cabot. Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Adam.
Well, you won last week, and you followed up with a podium finish here at Watkins Glen. And, man, a couple of close calls there late in the going for you. Explain or just talk through the race here tonight and getting through all that and coming out of here on the podium.
Yeah, I did not think I'd be talking to you tonight. After the win last week, I was just, going to show up this week, and I told everyone I'm just going to be vibing out there, doing my thing, and I've never gotten to a race with less prep or care in the world, and I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I had more speed than I thought I'd have, considering I just hopped in the session without any practice or anything, and we had a lot of. We were all really close in the top 5 or 6 there. Had a lot of close moments, close battles, and I don't know if it's because I just literally, I'm locked in, and truly this race just didn't matter to me, so I was just out there having fun, and maybe I did better because of that. I don't know, but then there was just a lot of chaos around me. I saw Yusuf flipped in the S's in front of me, and then Angelo had his power go out, and he crashed, and in the S's, and I've narrowly avoided him, and it was pretty entertaining since I'm locked in, and this race didn't really matter to me. But if I was trying to get points, that probably would have been one of the most stressful races I've ever been in.
Yeah, definitely. The first stage seemed all calm and easy and simple for everybody, and then the second, basically all hell broke loose, and it's just things went wild there for those few laps in a row. But either way, you survive, and a great follow up to the win last week. We go to Martinsville next week, so how do you feel about going out there?
Well, I'm going into Martinsville with the same amount of prep as I went into today, and the same attitude as today. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Martinsville is always pretty crazy. So since I'm locked in and can just go out there and have fun, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to see if you can maybe get another win or at least another podium, and get a few of those here in round number 1 of the playoffs. But third place tonight after starting 6th. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to everyone I always give a shout out to. Everyone who makes the league happen. You, VSPEED, Adam, me and Pop watching all my races, everyone who supports what I do. This is a lot of fun, and yep, see you next week.
Awesome, Adam. Well, great run tonight, and we'll catch you then.
All right, thanks.
All right, third place finisher Adam Cabot. Let's go to second place. That is going to be Alec Martinez. Alec, Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy.
Gotcha.
Well, Alec, a really strong run from you here tonight. You were up there in the mix in the top 3 for the entire race. We saw great battling between you and Yusuf and others here at the beginning of stage number 2. You end up second place. Give us a rundown of your race.
You know, I think it was finally good to finally run with those two up front. Just trying to be easy on the rears was pretty much the name of the game with high horsepower and low downforce package. But man, I just I don't know. I just want to apologize to Yusuf first. I wasn't trying to wreck him. I think he said he popped out of gear or something, and I really didn't have any time to avoid him. But other than that, I apologize to him, and congrats to Connor on the win. Hopefully I made up the points deficit for today. But you know, Yusuf said he has to get me back, so we're deciding on what the punishment's going to be. And I'm really leaning towards the Richmond-Martinsville way, but I'm not sure. Might have to meet it up at Martinsville. We'll see. But it's a drive-through, I think, so we'll see what we're going to have to do. But it was a good race. Man, it just shows again, 750 low downforce is the way to go. And, man, on these road courses, it's fun, slick, and man, it's enjoyable, and just hoping that next week goes good, hopefully, and we can point our way through, and just got to be easy with it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you did make up quite a few points here. We'll see how things settle out after the race in terms of the standings. But second in the stage, second at the end, and you already gave us a little preview of your thoughts for Martinsville. But you know, what is the approach going to be going there? That being the elimination race.
Martinsville. Well, knowing what happened last time, man, it's gonna be, it'll be something if we get a 2-lap shootout or something, man. It's gonna be bumping each other out of the way and everything. But Martinsville's a fun little short track, and man, tempers will be flaring, and man, it's gonna be fun. I don't know if it's a night or day race, but no matter what, when we go to Martinsville, it's usually always really, really fun. So we'll see what happens, and you know, we'll try to go get them there.
Yeah, and we'll see if you can follow this up and get your way into round number 2. We know you're going to be a fierce competitor for the championship this year, so it'd be good to see you get up into the next round. But good run here tonight. After starting third, you end up second. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, obviously you doing the broadcast, everybody watching. You know, without you guys, you know, we wouldn't be getting the recognition that we are. And you know, again, you doing the broadcast, and all the admins too, Reggie Ortega, Jeremiah Vincent, Elliot Butler, Mark Emerson, and my teammates, Angelo Hronis. He was having a dang good race, and he said something, I think his power cut out or something, and it sucks for him because he had a really good race going. He was fast, and he had a solid run. And Mark Emerson as well, you know, just helping us out, and you know, just try to go get him next week at Martinsville. So
Awesome, Alec. Well, congrats again on a runner-up here tonight, and we'll catch you next week.
all right, awesome, thank you.
All right, that's second place finisher Alec Martinez. Let's go to race winner now. That is going to be Mr. Connor Horn. Already talked to him once. Connor, Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got me.
10-4.
Well, it wasn't as easy as you maybe thought it was going to be there in stage 2. You got knocked off the track all the way back to 6th, and man, what a drive to get back to the race lead. Describe stage 2 for us there.
Apparently I can't do stage 2 road course restarts because I screwed up at Coda and got lucky to get back on, and here I just pinched Yusuf too hard onto the curb because I was really trying to just hold his door down so I could get the run into VS's and probably just overpower him there. But I pinched him too hard. He hopped the curb, set me to about 6th, and had to really. I didn't run. I was trying to save at the front, or at least in 2nd, but that changed mentality. I got bumped back to 6th, and then I had to get by Alec, and then I had to get by Adam. Passing Alec was big because I knew he was going to be fast on the long run. And then Yusuf made a mistake and let Dylan get to the lead, which kind of let me get to Angelo and then let me get to Yusuf. I kind of pinched Yusuf again. Didn't really mean to in turn 8 or whatever turn that was, but I just felt like you can't really give room going side by side in most of these corners, or else you're not going to get the spot. Then I got by Dylan. I figured, okay, I'm gonna just have to try to pit as early as possible because it's like a 3-second difference from the beginning of a run to the end of a run, or like 2 to 3 seconds. So if you got beat the pit road, you're gonna lose the lead if you didn't have a 4-second lead. And then Yusuf got into it with Alec, and Yusuf was out, and Alec lost a lot of time. And then I guess Angelo's power, not his power went out. I don't know if his power went out or everything just went black, but Angelo had an issue that screwed up Dylan, that screwed up Cabot. So that really gave me like a 5-second lead. So I was like, okay, Alec's so far behind now, I can give him a lap and still get out in front of him. So that's what I did. When he pit, I reacted the next lap, and I got out 2 seconds in front of him and Adam. And at that point, it was just keeping the car in one piece and just bringing it home. So glad I was able to do that, because these restarts on road courses, I can't do them apparently. That's twice in a row where I've screwed it up, but I've gotten lucky both times.
Yeah, definitely tricky to get the car rolling and then figure out where the braking point is down into that next corner. But just an incredible recovery to come from 6th back to the lead. I think it only took you about 3 or 4 laps in total, and it was just very impressive to watch. Your 7th win of the season locks you into the next round of the playoffs. But before we get there, we've got Martinsville. So how do you feel about going out there?
I love Martinsville, one of my favorite tracks. Did really well there and rode the pro, and I hope to do good there. Win a race there, you could deny someone a chance of getting into the next round. I don't know how close the points are going to be, because pretty much everyone at the bottom of the standings except for Alec didn't do well anyways. It might be tight because Jeff didn't show up, so he's going to have to do something crazy at Martinsville, and I consider Jeff a threat for the championship, so maybe winning a race and denying him that chance would be big, and just trying to deny people past the final round, or the second round at least, at all costs. So I love Martinsville. I think I'm really fast there, as long as you got to keep the nose clean to win there. I mean, you could probably win that race without keeping your nose clean. You could probably win that race without a nose, how Martinsville goes sometimes. But if you keep the car clean, you're going to be in a good spot. And doing that combined with the speed that I feel like I have a good shot there.
Yeah, we'll see if you can go back to back and win 2 out of the first 3 playoff races. But you were unbeatable today, that is for sure. You start first, you finish first, you lead 48 out of 55 laps, and the only time you weren't up front, it was when you got shuffled back to 6th there, and then you still found your way back out in the lead and capturing the checkered flag. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for tonight's win?
Just the teammates tonight. Yusuf Ghali, I thought it was going to be between me, him, and Alec. I think us 3 were above the rest, and once everything got scrambled on that restart, and Alec and Yusuf made damage, it was kind of going to be tough for them to get back into it. Definitely tough for Alec to get back into it. Zach Halpern, he survived. Road courses aren't his strong suit, but he survived. He did a good job tonight. Jeremy Miller wasn't here tonight because I think he's on vacation. He struggles at road courses, but he usually gets it together for Watkins Glen. It's one of his better road courses, although he still has a lot of work to do. Zachary Carr, just because he paints paint schemes and he's really fast at road courses. Respect to the guys I raced. I got by Stravato, Cabot, and I'm trying to think, Dylan Parker. They all raced me clean. Angela Horonis raced me clean. Alec raced me clean. It was a lot of work. I haven't sweat for a race like this a lot. I don't sweat a lot, but road courses, you really have to work the wheel. I'm just glad I didn't lose it, because there was a lot of times where that car was trying to die, but luckily I kept it in one piece.
Yeah, you kept it in one piece. You did, I think, better than almost anybody else out there. The car's, I think it was the only clean one left. But, yeah, congrats on the win. You're 7th here this season, and we'll catch you next week at Martinsville.
10-4. Appreciate the streams, Adam.
Thank you. That is Connor Horn, race winner, 7th time this season, and he is absolutely still on a tear, and I think probably the favorite for the championship at this point, barring any major issues or missed races. He's going to be tough to beat, but he came from 6th there at the end to take the lead back away, and let's go to the rest of our results and head on out for the night. Just the one caution, the set stage caution at lap 20. 5 total lead changes, and Connor Horn, he made the last lead change and drove away with it. Alec Martinez finishes in 2nd, a great run from him, and a very valuable points day. He finishes 2nd in the stage and 2nd in the race. Adam Cabot following up his win in 3rd here tonight. Bailey Turner 4th, Zach Halper in a top 5 tonight, AJ Stravato in 6th, able to recover after some issues late. Mark Emerson finishes 7th, Greg Wellen with a strong 8th place finish, Elliot Butler finishes in 9th, Eddie Trejo rounding out the top 10. 11th, it was Yusuf Ghali, 12th was Dylan Parker, Angelo Ronas finishes in 13th, Jeremiah Vincent finishes 14th, that will surely hurt him in the standings, and then Lane Sulfridge rounding out the field tonight in the 15th spot. And this has been the VSPEED Garage 55 from Watkins Glen for the Virtual Racing League. Thank you so much for tuning in here tonight. We'll be back next week with the race at Martinsville, and we hope you tune in then. But we'll also have the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series on Tuesday at Circuit of the Americas, and you won't want to miss that one. Another road course, and then a short track. A couple great races slated for next week. You can follow us at all these different social media outlets. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay notified when we go live here on YouTube. You can also watch us on Twitter for most of our broadcasts. And thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed, and have a great night.